Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Maryville University post-game show. Well, it was a decent effort for the Lady Saints, but ultimately they fall to 0-8 after a disappointing one. The final score in this game was 4-2. Maryville had some decent pushes every now and then, but they couldn't seem to necessarily put together long stretches.
Yeah, it seems like especially in the first period, getting the rust off, not playing for a while, and that's to be expected when you take a long break like that. But going into the second, you could still see a little bit of the rust, and they finally were able to kind of get it together at the end of the second and the beginning of the third, but they just couldn't quite seem to get their passes on point and clearing of the puck in the defensive zone to get it to the other end to get something going. Some stuff didn't seem to click, and they couldn't quite take advantage of all the opportunities that they had, one with the breakaway and the 2-on-1s. But that transitions, that was great goaltending and great defense by McKendree on the other end.
On the positive side for Maryville, it did seem like once they finally broke the ice, finally got that first goal, which didn't come until late in the second period from Sydney Poisson, but she still managed to kind of get a little bit of momentum for her team, and they seemed to build a little bit off of that, at least in the overall flow of the game.
Yeah, you could see where they would get in spurts of just going hard to the puck near the end there when they had that 5-minute penalty. And so they were on the power play for almost the end of the game there, about a minute or so left after that. They just kept going and going and going, trying to get one back, but then that last goal just crossed the goal line, and you could kind of see everybody just on the bench, hang their heads, and that's just how it goes sometimes, the way the puck bounces.
So a little bit of stuff to build on for Maryville, but a tough loss overall. Let's head over to the press conference room and get our thoughts from head coach Tommy Lang. Coach, you guys had a few pushes within the game, but it didn't seem like you could get some sustained pressure, so it's got to be kind of a tough loss.
Yeah, it's frustrating. When they're shorthanded and we're a shorthanded team as it is, we got to create our own breaks. And when we created our breaks, we were rewarded. And when we were trying to be too selfish, it put us in the rear, and we gave up goals and didn't come out on the right side tonight.
One positive for the game, though, was the goaltending. Sawyer Duncan had a great game. A few of them that bounced, in when she didn't quite see him or something like that. But other than that, she had a pretty good game. What do you think about that?
Yeah, she made the key saves that we needed at times where it was critical in the juncture of the game. We also shot ourselves in the foot. There was a 5-on-2 line change where our 3 forwards decided to get off the ice. Unexpected, and you can't expect a goalie to do something when there's a 5-on-2. So she made the kindly saves to keep us in the game at 1-0 and 3-1, and that's all you can ask for your goalie.
Coach, you had a couple games canceled. Last game was mid-February. Did that time off kind of disrupt any kind of flow that you might have had in this game?
No, I wouldn't say it. Today's a new day. It doesn't matter. We got practice. We get our cardio in that way. So at the end of the day, you got to show up prepared to the game, and when you don't, you're down 1-0. You get down 2-1, 3-1. That's on the girls inside to raise their compete level and come out better.
Thanks for the time, Coach.
No worries. Appreciate it.
And we thank Coach Tommy Lang for his time and giving us his thoughts after that difficult loss. His team falls to 0-8. They did improve a little bit on the offensive side. They now have 13 goals on the season. But when you're only scoring a little over a goal a game, it's difficult to get those wins.
Yeah, and Duncan did everything she could, like we said, to keep a lot of those out of the back of the net. She might have liked to have a couple of those back, but a lot of the time she put herself in good position to make the save. And when you're facing that many shots, some are bound to bounce in.
29 shots apiece for both teams. But you have to give a little bit of credit to the McKendree side. Their defense and goaltending was solid as well.
Yeah, their defense and goaltending was phenomenal with the breakaways, the 2-on-1s, and there's a 3-on-1 that we were able to score on finally. But it just seems like a lot of odd man chances, and Maryville just couldn't quite capitalize on them.
So we'll see whether or not the Maryville Saints can pick up their first win. They won't have too much time off this time, as it's a day off tomorrow, and then they'll be back on action here on home ice on Friday. That'll be somewhat of an afternoon game. The puck will drop at 4 o'clock. We hope you'll join us then, as it'll be right here on the Maryville Saints Hockey Network. But for Will Starwalt, for Eric, who's been turning the dials behind the scenes, making us look good, I'm Todd Panula. Until the next time, good night, everybody.